All right, let's talk about one of the most compelling, most over-the-top, and frankly, most interesting characters in modern fiction, Escanor from the Seven Deadly Sins.
Okay, let's just start with that. I mean, wow. Those are the words of a man who doesn't just think he's strong, he genuinely believes he stands at the very pinnacle of existence. This isn't just trash talk. For him, it's a simple statement of fact.
And this is him, Escanor. His power is so ridiculously immense that he doesn't even feel hatred for the people he fights. He just feels pity for them. He's the ultimate paradox, really, a mere human who somehow stands above all other races.
So to really get a handle on who this guy is, you first have to see his power in action. And it's something else. It's an overwhelming force tied directly to the sun itself. So you see this number, right? Over 4,800. Now that alone is enough to outmatch kings and even some pretty powerful demons. But here's the crazy part. That's him at his absolute weakest, right after sunrise. This is just a tiny fraction of the power he's going to have later in the day. But this godlike figure, this titan of a man, that's only half the story. Because as soon as the sun starts to set, something truly dramatic happens. And here it is. It's night and day. Literally. During the day, he is the sun, a source of both life and total destruction. He's arrogant, he's powerful, he's a giant. But at night, he becomes this frail, unfailingly polite and skittish guy who's weaker than an average human. He's not just two different people. He's two complete opposites living in one body.
Which leads to the central mystery of his entire character, right? How is this even possible? How can these two personas exist in the same person? And let me tell you, it's not a split personality disorder. It's something much, much deeper.
The answer is that this incredible power, it's not a gift. It's a curse, a really tragic one that he has carried with him since he was just a little boy.
You see, his power, sunshine, has nothing to do with human magic. This is a celestial force, a divine grace meant for an archangel, one of the most powerful beings in existence. A mortal body was never meant to contain it, and it's slowly burning him from the inside out. This power completely isolates him. The stronger he gets, the more of a danger he is to everyone he cares about.
And his backstory just proves it. He was born a prince in the kingdom of Castellio, but the moment his power awakened, he accidentally broke his brother's arm. His own parents were horrified. They called him a monster and disowned him. He was saved by a kind woman named Rosa, who cast him out to sea in a barrel to save his life. So you start to get it right, that immense pride is a defense mechanism. It's a suit of armor he forged to make sure no one could ever make him feel that small again.
So if you've got the power of an archangel burning inside your human body, how in the world do you manage it? Well, a burden that legendary required an equally legendary tool.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who radiates so much heat and raw energy that he's a walking natural disaster. He could melt his friends and the very ground they stand on without even trying. He needed a way to contain that destructive force.
And that is where the divine axe Rita comes in. This weapon is just as much a part of his story as his power is. And get this, it's not just for attacking. Its primary job is actually protection, to protect others from him. Now what's so cool about this axe is that it's more than just a weapon. It is a containment unit. It's so heavy that even ridiculously strong demons can't lift it, but Escanor summons it with a flick of his wrist. Its main purpose to absorb and store all that excess solar energy that pours out of Escanor's body. So, Rita is basically a symbol of the massive burden he carries around every single day.
And all of this, his curse, his burden, his incredible pride, it all comes together and culminates in his final act, an ultimate sacrifice.
His death was not a defeat. It was a conscious choice. To fight the Demon King, he reclaims the full grace of sunshine, knowing it would burn his life away. He activates a final form, the One Ultimate, pushing his body far beyond any mortal limit to match a god. And in his final moments, as his body is literally turning into embers, he confesses his love to Merlin. This was an act of supreme pride that was, at its very core, an act of supreme love for his friends.
And his final words, this little bit of poetry, it just reveals everything. It tells you that deep down, the arrogance was just a shield for the heart of a poet, and a heart full of unwavering devotion to the people he cared about.
But you have to wonder, was that truly the end? His legacy seems to suggest that his sacrifice wasn't an ending, but maybe a transformation. Because
In the next generation, a new knight named Gawain appears, and her power is almost identical to Sunshine. She even has a weapon named Rita. It's led a lot of people to believe that Merlin somehow used Escanor's essence to preserve his light, creating a new dawn from his sunset.
And this is what makes Escanor such a timeless and fascinating character. It makes you ask, was his sin just simple arrogance? Or was it the armor he had to wear to protect a gentle heart and the fuel he needed to burn to save the world? And that's our explainer on the lion's sin of pride.